Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Local Business Spotlight. My name is Diana Lockie, and I'm a local real estate agent here in Apex and Cary areas. And today on our podcast, I have a special guest. I have Zac Rose. He's a personal trainer at LifeTime Fitness, and I wanted to introduce him to you and just let him tell his story. And welcome, Zac.
Thank you, Diana.
Yeah, thanks for doing this interview with us. So tell us about what you do.
Right. Thank you for having me, first of all. So I'm classified as a dynamic personal trainer for Lifetime. So basically, dynamic personal training is personal training amplified. So there's a lot more hands-on coaching, cueing, stuff like that. So the idea is to give our members an experience that they can't get anywhere else. Inside of that, I specialize primarily in weight loss and corrective exercise, but I have clients that range all the way from the age of 10 all the way up to 87. Working on a variety of goals. I've worked for new beginners all the way up to professional athletes.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah. So weight loss, I know a lot of people are struggling with that.
Mm-hmm.
And do you also help them with the nutrition part of it?
So I'm in the process of getting my certified nutrition coach through NASM, who my PT certification is through. So in the state of North Carolina, we can't recommend or we can't prescribe diets. But as a certified nutrition coach, I can give generalized guidelines, basically. So yeah, so I talk to my clients a lot about the nutritional aspect of things. I always tell my clients, even if you're training with me 3 times a week for an hour, that's 3 hours. There's 168 hours in a week. So what you do that 165 hours is going to have a huge impact on what happens inside the gym and your results. So I spend a lot of time with my clients talking to them about behavior habits around eating, understanding the cause and effect of, why they choose some of the foods they do versus the ones they don't, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important. Yeah. So what is corrective training?
So corrective exercise specialization, basically, our bodies are inherently lazy. And what I mean by that is they will choose the path of least resistance. And so you will get these overuse injuries. So like one of the most common ones is like tennis elbow. So corrective exercise looks to basically correct those issues. So if you have an overactive muscle, we look at how can we make that muscle relax a little bit, and then how can we strengthen the opposite or opposing muscles so that it can actually get back in balance where it's supposed to be.
Okay, so I can see how a lot of people will have pains
Mm-hmm.
from all that incorrect usage of muscle, and then so they get pain relief from that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So one of the most common ones that you see with a lot of people who have desk jobs, for example, is what's called an anterior pelvic tilt. So basically, their pelvis shifts kind of forward a little bit, and so they have very tight hip flexors, and then their glute muscles and low back muscles are very weak. So one of the first things we do in corrective exercise is we work on loosening up those hip flexors so you can get back to a neutral point on your hips, and then work on strengthening the glutes and the low back muscles, and it helps alleviate things like low back pain, things like that.
Well, definitely, I can see how that would work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Zac, where are you originally from?
I was born in Raleigh, so I was born in Raleigh. My sister was born in Raleigh. My dad was born in Raleigh. I lived in North Carolina my whole life. I grew up either in Raleigh or Salisbury, North Carolina.
Okay, yeah. And then, so how did you pick Apex?
So my wife, when I met her, already had a house here. I was living in Raleigh at the time. I was renting a place, and didn't make sense to have her move. So I knew Apex from when Apex was a very small, 2-lane road. 55 was 2-lane roads going through Apex, all that good stuff. And so I've always had a good soft spot for Apex. And so she said, I live near downtown. I said, excellent. And yeah, we haven't decided to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great place to be. I also watched it grow. I've been here 15 years, and I watched it grow and expand, and new roads are getting built, and it's just growing, exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still rated one of the best places to live in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of people moving in here too.
Absolutely.
Mhm. Yeah. So how did you decide to become a personal trainer?
Um, so my mom was actually a personal trainer for 20 years. So I got introduced to the gym and fitness lifestyle at a young age. I played sports. I played a year of college basketball. Had two very significant injuries. Had my shoulder reconstructed, and then tore my hamstring 2 weeks after I'd been cleared to play. So I decided I was done playing college basketball. But I did not want to get out of the gym. So I started looking at other avenues. I was talking to my mom one day. She's like, well, you could always go into personal training. I was like, hey, that sounds like a great idea. So that was in 2010, I believe, is when I got my first cert, and kept it all the way up until the pandemic. Did not have it during the pandemic. Recently got recertified through NASM.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Yeah. So I guess being in the gym is like more controlled exercise compared to being on the field.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's I do work with some athletes. We've had the discussions about uneven loading and stuff like that for athletes, but for the majority of the population, it's very controlled, letting your body adapt to what it does in everyday life, basically. So I'm a firm believer in there's six movements that we consider like everyday life. So you have your squat, your hinge, so you hinge at your hips, push, pull, twist, and overhead. And with those, I try to incorporate those with my clients because they all transfer to everyday life for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice. So, what would your customers say they love most about your business?
I would say it, have to be the results they get, but the way that we get those results. So I'm a firm believer if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're not going to do it long term, right? And so I make sure that I do the things the clients need, but I also incorporate some exercises that they find really fun and exciting. So that there's something in every workout that they look forward to. For example, I don't do burpees. So my clients don't do burpees.
Okay.
I was taught when I first got my PT certs to not have your clients do things that you're not going to do yourself. So I take burpees out of it just because it's something that I dread. And so I don't want my clients to dread their workouts when they come. So they get the results, but they get it in a fun way. So it's something that they can stick with long term.
Yeah, so you adapt to each client.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for example, I don't like jumping.
Mm-hmm.
I like to stay like on the same level.
Yep.
So yeah,
Plyometrics would not be something that we would
Yeah.
program for you.
Yeah.
We would keep you on the ground.
Yeah, that's good. I can go on a bicycle because I like pedaling, but no jumping. Yeah.
Okay.
So what are your goals over the next year?
Continue growing my business. So I've been here for about a month now. And I transitioned out of working at the fire department, and it was a completely different lifestyle. And I got back into personal training because I still wanted to help people. I wanted a better work-life balance, but I also wanted to be back in the gym. So I'm working on getting myself back up to full-time hours, just continuing to build my business. But at the end of the day, just be able to help as many people as I can.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm glad we're going to help out with this interview that you can share on social media so people can see there's benefits. Like once you join the gym, then you can explain to them. So how does it work? Like you join the gym?
So you join the gym and you get a complimentary onboarding session. And excuse me, during that onboarding session, it's about an hour long. We'll spend the first 20 minutes doing this. We'll talk a lot about your goals, what your past workout experiences are, what you like, what you dislike. We'll talk a little bit about nutrition in terms of like what your eating habits are, things like that. Then we'll do some assessments. So we'll do the, like the body fat, the height, the weight, stuff like that, the measurable things that we're going to track over time. And then from there, we'll do a couple movement assessments to see if there's any corrective exercises that we need to talk about incorporating into your plan. And we'll sit down at the end and we'll put together a plan and we'll decide where we're going to go from there.
Okay, so Is that included in the gym fee, or the personal training is on the extra?
The personal training after that initial session is extra,
Okay.
and it's very, very dynamic in terms of what the offerings are. So
Mm-hmm.
we do everything from just a program design where I have people that don't live in this state, for example, that I build programs for, and I meet with them virtually twice a month, all the way up to clients that train 3 or 4 times a week. It really just depends on what your goals are, what your restrictions are financially, all that. We take all that into consideration, and we design a program that's going to help you be as successful as possible.
Okay, so you try to make it affordable. So
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, that's great. Because so Lifetime, you were saying it's a large company,
Mm-hmm.
and there's gyms all over the country,
Mm-hmm.
right? So,
There's 160 locations currently, primarily in the U.S. There are some in Canada, but so it's technically international, but mostly North Carolina or mostly North America.
yeah, so customers are flexible to which gym to be
Mm-hmm.
at.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So what drives you to do what you do?
I'm a results-driven person, and I like the change that I can bring about in clients. There's not many things that I would say from a career perspective that give you the same amount of satisfaction as watching someone lose 30, 40, 50 pounds and watching how it changes their life. From a self-esteem issue, from a health issue, watching them come off of blood pressure medicines, cholesterol medicines, their doctor looking at them saying, I never thought this would be possible. Just watching their quality of life grow.
Yeah. Yeah, health is probably like the most important in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I always tell my clients, you can buy a lot of things. You can't buy your health.
Yeah.
Time and health are the two things that doesn't matter. You cannot buy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what else do you do besides work?
So I have a 20-month-old son at home. Obviously my wife, and then we're expecting a daughter in April. So thank you. So spending as much time with them as possible. We like to go for family walks. Our son Deacon loves to get into everything that he's not supposed to because why not? So spending a lot of time with them and just enjoying friends and family.
Yeah, precious time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anything exciting going on that your customers should know about?
January in a gym is I smile because it's chaotic is probably the best way to describe it. You get everyone coming in for the new year, with their New Year's resolution goals. So I've told my clients, look, get your goals started early. The average, it used to be, it might be even higher now, but the average American gained 5 to 15 pounds between October 31st and January 1st, between the holiday parties, the travel, whatever it might be. So I always told my clients, don't wait till January 1st. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till whenever. Just get started today. We'll do a 60-day challenge in January to kind of kickstart the process for a lot of people. And so there will be a lot of opportunities for people wanting those New Year's resolutions, but I always tell people get started as soon as you can to get those habits started before the gym rushes get here, before you get overwhelmed, and the stress relief really helps during the holidays.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we get so busy with the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we don't mean it, we don't mean it. It just happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to know that I'm also average on that weight gain, so I don't feel so bad anymore. But we gotta work on that. Yeah. So thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you.
We're almost ready to wrap up. Before that, can you tell us what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah. So I'll give you my contact information so you can put it on there, but you can either email me or text me or call me, or you can reach out to me on social media. I have for the next 60 days, I have a promo code that for anyone that wants to join, that will get you $20 off a month from Lifetime for the gym. So if you just send me a message and say, hey, I saw the interview, I'm interested in it, I can send you the promo code. and then we'll get you in the gym, get you signed up, and then we'll get you that onboarding session set up.
Yeah, sounds good. So we can post that coupon also on our website,
Okay.
but they will have to reach you to get it. So,
Yeah, it's a unique one that I got from corporate, so yeah.
That's great. That's a great deal. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We
Absolutely.
appreciate this.
Thank
It was
you.
fun. And with that, that concludes our episode of Local Business Spotlight. And again, my name is Diana Lucky, your local real estate agent. It's a great time to buy. If you're looking to buy a house, don't stress over the interest rates. I have connections with lenders who are doing very creative things, and we can get you in a house and you can own your own place this fall, this winter, and even in the spring. And with that, thank you.